everybody, it's Becca at So Darn Twisted. Thank you for coming back to my channel today. A long time coming. I haven't made any tutorials for far too long, and for that I do apologise. I'll probably go into some of the reasons why afterwards, but needless to say, most of it's health related. So I do apologise. But today I thought I'd come back to you with something really nice. So we have a triple tag journal card and pocket. So it's very simple to make. A beginner can absolutely follow this, you know, no problem at all. And I think that you'll have a bit of fun making this one, and it's going to make a really kind of cute addition, I think, to, you know, to any journal. Obviously, because you can make this in any style that you want. I actually came up with the idea when I was making something for somebody, and thought, oh, wouldn't that be nice if I was to do that? So I thought, well, let's do a tutorial on it this way. So yeah, here you have your tag pocket. You can decorate the back, but again, we'll get into that at the time. So let's get started. So supplies. What I've got here is some complementary but different papers that I'm going to use to make the fronts, and I've got some leftover lined pages as well from things that either didn't print well or, you know, that kind of thing, and I'm going to use those to create the journal spots on the back of the tags. So we have, those are our two kind of main elements. You're also obviously going to want some plain card as well, in your choice of colour, and I'm just going to go for a plain cream colour for mine. You're going to want some, you know, embellishments, just little bits and pieces, obviously, just to decorate them a little bit with. Remember that because they're going into a pocket, you want to concentrate on decorating the pocket more than the cards themselves. So just stickers and things like that, otherwise you'll find it problematic. And I've just got some nice wallpaper that I might kind of tear some bits off, you know. I've got some various lace kind of thing. Little tip for you guys, if I'm doing a sort of small project like this and I really don't want to have to lug my big box of lace around, you know, if you work like I do from your sofa for the most part, what I tend to do is cut strips of my sort of current favourites, and I'll just tie them off and then just keep them with me. So it's just nice and easy to see, you know, you can just at a glance, oh, I want that one, you know, so it's just nice and easy. So you will have those. You're going to want your ink pad and dauber if you're inking your edges. You will need an eyelet setting tool or a hole punch if you want to do the eyelets. If you're not worried about the eyelets and you just want the holes and feed something through the holes, you just need the hole punch, so that's fine. You'll want some scissors. If you want to notch the front of your pocket, obviously use a notch punch. And I've also got here, I like these decorative corner punches going on, but there also can punch holes as well in the tops of things, which is kind of nice. This one came from Amazon, I believe, and I will see if I can find my order for it. I've had it for quite some time, so I might not be able to find it. If I can, I will link it in the description, because it is a nifty little thing to, well, little, it's quite bulky, which is probably why I don't use it really often. And then the last thing that you're going to want is some glue. Oh no, not the last thing. What am I talking about? The last thing. So you'll either want some scissors, ruler, pencil, that kind of thing, or your paper trimmer. So, you know, whichever you use is up to you. So the first important thing to remember is you need to figure out first what size you want your tags to be, because that's then critical for the rest of the sizing. So I thought I'd have mine at around kind of, I don't know, 8.5 to 9 centimeters, but obviously that is, again, as always, completely up to you guys to make yours at whatever size you want. So mine would be, say if I put mine at 3.5 inches, which is just under 9 centimeters, so then that's quite a nice kind of wide tag going on there. And then I'd probably just cut that in half and make them kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Chunky. chunky and square. Actually, no, I'm not. No, I'm going to make them about 12 centimeters, which is like 4 3/4 of an inch. So I just need to cut myself 3 at that size. Okay, shove that in the bin over there. Okay, so we've got our 3 tags. Now the next stage is to cut your file top. Now if you have if you've got a cutting die, you know, and a die cutting machine, then you can absolutely use those to create your tags. Or you can, like I've done, I cut myself out a template. All I did to do that was I scored a line straight across so that I knew I was going to be meeting at the same point on both sides. And then I just kind of drew a, you know, and cut it off. So yeah, that's how I did that. So I'm going to make 3. Now obviously the first one has to go really close to one side. So we'll get that kind of right. And then I'm going to use this pencil because it's a little bit thinner, and therefore let me move those out of the way so I don't end up drawing on them. And then we're going to just do that, and I'm just going to coat along that line just so I know that's the line I need to meet when I'm cutting. So that's fine and dandy. So I'll cut that one in a second. This one is going to go kind of in the middle. So you just want to sort of see where you're at there. That looks about central to me. And again, I'm just going to run myself a little guideline and then draw around that. Oh, drawing on it. Apparently I'm not drawing very well today either. And then this one will obviously be right at the far end. So, and again, just get it nice and squared, and away you go. And again, just a little line to follow. So now you can cut those out. You know, what you can do to make sure that you're getting nice and squared for your line, if you have, you could use your paper trimmer guidelines, or if you've got a cutting mat with lines on it, you know, kind of line up your ruler to be along the same line. Get your line in place there, and then just drag a line across it like so, and then you know that that's going to give you a straight edge. So let's do the same for these. So again, we're just lining up the ruler with a particular point, and then we're just going to maneuver our card to be on the same line. There we go, that's about right. So again, I'm just going to go up to the point where your tab meets. You know, you don't want to go all the way across. Otherwise, you've got to try and cover it up later, and that's just not fun, is it? Let's face it. Okay, so let's get that one in place. About there is fabulous. All right, so then they're not that tricky to do, really. I usually actually just do it on my paper trimmer and cut up to the line, but that takes some real practice, and I am absolutely likely to mess it up, you know, every few times that I try. So I thought, no, I'll do it a better way this time so you guys can see a decent way of doing this rather than my guesswork. Obviously, if you're confident doing that, then carry on. And we just want to make sure that we're getting those nice and rounded. So let's get the other 2 done. Right, so on to the structure of the pocket. Now, for this, you want to line up your tags so that they're just overlapping, just slightly, like that, and make sure that they're nice and flush. And then what you need to do is you need to give yourself about a centimetre and a half, you know, kind of like, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of an inch or something, just on that side. And then you're going to make just a little mark, just kind of along, and then again along the bottom you're going to need to do the same thing. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to mark that off about 1 centimetre further over from where that line is here. So I'm just going to pop that round, and then it would help if I actually had that lined up, wouldn't it really? Oh, what am I like, guys? Okay, so I'm going to go 1 centimetre over, which is like 1 square on my cutting mat, and that's just fine. And I'm just going to take that down like that, and then just to double check I'm getting the length in the right place. Yeah, okay, so about 1 centimetre or so over the bottom as well, so that's fine. I can just kind of mark that off to know that that's the centimetre across. So hopefully that makes sense. So we'll just run through it just in case. Okay, so we're going to slightly overlap our tags, just a little bit, just so it's nice and aesthetically pleasing. Lay them down. You want your tabs to be over the edge at the top. And an easier way to do this actually would be to just mark 2 centimetres that way, and about 1 centimetre and 1.5 centimetres that way. So yeah, either way it works out the same. I'm just doing this on the fly, so you know, you guys already know how that goes with me though, right? It's just a case of oh yeah, let's do this. Oh, could have done it that way. Oh well, you know, never mind. So nice and squared. Okay, so now I know I need 2 of this size, so I can just measure that out, and that's coming in at just under 15 centimetres by just over 11.5. So obviously whatever yours comes in at is what you need to trim. Okay, again, don't rely on my measurements because they will be different unless you are following to the exact same measurements as mine here. So that is now your pocket. Okay, that's all the kind of that's the trickiest bit of it done. It really is. So now what you need to do is you need to measure out your panel pieces. So let's just get my nice papers here. So whatever the gap is, so that's 10.5 by, let's say 9, because it's only a hair's breadth away, it's like 3.5 inches kind of thing. So you're always just going to go kind of 1 centimetre less on each thing. But if you're confident, you know, and not too worried about things being absolutely precise, if you just kind of get where you want it to be, double it roughly, and then just do a little pinch crease here and do the same at the bottom, and then I know that that's the size I need without lots of fussy measuring. So then we can just cut that one down, and then I can effectively cut the others to whatever this measurement is to save pinch folding all 3. I'm going to go ahead and cut out some journal space. Right, so now again we've just got to do your pocket. Now if you're having this stuck down, obviously only cut 1 panel for the front of your pocket. If you're having it loose, like tucked behind a belly band or shoved into a bigger pocket or something like that, then obviously you're going to want 2 panels front and back. So excuse me, so that's 11.5 by 15, so I need 10.5 by 14 going that way. So that is going to be my 10.5, and that is going to be my 14 up there. What I'm actually going to do there though, because my aesthetics tell me to do it this way, is to take a little bit off both sides so it keeps that floral border kind of equal. Yes, I know. Okay, then as you can see, that's going to fit on there beautiful and snug. And I'm not sure if I'm going to do the front or the front and the back on mine, so I'm just going to leave it and just do the front for now, because obviously the back will be the exact same process, so it's fine. Right, that's our cutting done. So the next stage is to get corner cutting. So we're going to pop that out of the way, gather together our supplies, and then, like I say, you can either use like just a really basic corner rounder, you know, a corner punch of some sort, whatever you feel you want to do. Go ahead now and do that for yours, and we'll come back here in a hot minute. Right, so that's all the corners cut out, and that's now all ready to ink. So obviously if you are inking yours, then go ahead and do that now. Obviously I will skip through the majority of doing that, but I just wanted to just apologise again for not really being around doing sort of many tutorials and stuff. I've tried to be present, you know, in the groups and things like that, because obviously, you know, I have a responsibility. You know, so yeah, I have been trying to be around, but unfortunately my health has just been absolutely atrocious. There's no other word for it, and I've been dealing with a really serious personal issue as well, which has really kind of taken up a lot of my time and attention. So, you know, I haven't been really sort of in the mood to even think about making tutorials, because obviously it does take thinking about, it does take time, you know, all that kind of thing. So, you know, it's all just been a bit much. So I'm going to, hopefully now things are back on a little bit more of an even keel, so I can spend a bit more time making tutorials and stuff for you guys. So yeah, there you go. A little apology, and now we'll come back when we've done these. So that's the inking all finished, nice and easy. I only used a very light ink around this, because with the shabby chic stuff I don't tend to go too heavy. So next step is gonna obviously be to glue them together. So obviously, being a pocket, make sure you only do the 3 sides, and keep it close to the edge, but not so close that it starts to seep out. And as I always say, do not overload your glue. You do not need to. Okay, so that's the 3 sides. Just not quite enough glue there, actually. And then we're just going to line those up and get them stuck down. Fantastic. So let's just have a little push down on them. Lovely. Okay, so now that's in place, we're going to put the cover on. You can, if you wanted to, you could make this into like another sort of hidden pocket almost, if you wanted to. I might actually do exactly that now, because I think it would be nice. So I apologise, I'm having problems with my glue, which as you can see, there's plenty of glue in it. It's just deciding it doesn't want to play the game, apparently, which is fine. It's fine. I will relegate it to a different bottle if it doesn't start to behave itself, and that will teach it a lesson, won't it? Yes. Okay, there we go. So that's the pocket together, and now obviously it's just going to be sticking these on to your cards and your pieces of journaling paper. So let's scooch and get that done. Right, so now it's time for the eyelets. Now what you'll need to do is decide where you want your eyelets to sit. Do you want them in the center? Do you want it in the center of one and the 2 corners? You know, it's completely your choice as to where you have it. So, you know, you can just go nuts at this point. So I'm just gonna pop mine kind of roughly in the center, I think. Yeah, that looks roughly right. Hopefully. I'm usually fairly good at eyeballing the center of things, and then every now and again I fail just immensely and start to regret all of my life choices. You know how it goes, guys. Right, so there we go. That's our 3 holes done. Get rid of those. And let's grab our eyelets. Now, as I say, if you don't want to use eyelets or don't have eyelets, it's absolutely fine. You can just punch holes, you know, or if you've got the bar punch, you know, and then just thread some lace through that, or some ribbon, or, you know, whatever you want. You don't have to use eyelets. If you have ring reinforcers, they are very useful though for using, just to make sure that your holes don't tear when you pull on anything that you put through the hole, you know. So still didn't catch that bit. I don't know why. Sometimes this just does not want to set the eyelets properly. There we go. And you end up with just this really horrible jagged bit sticking up. Other times it's absolutely perfect. So yeah, never mind. We shall see how they continue to go. Does anybody else find with the crocodile that when you're using it, the locking pin just kind of falls through when you're in the middle of something? Can you not? It's really frustrating. Right, so there we have that with the 3 nice eyelets in place. And now if we pop open our pocket, you will see that they will just slide in there beautifully. And there you go. You have your nice tag pocket. So obviously now it's just a case of decorating them. So, and as I say, when it comes to the actual tags themselves, I would stick with things like thin die cuts, stickers, you know, things like that, sentiments and the like. I don't recommend putting anything that's got any kind of real dimension, like buttons or, you know, flowers, anything like that on them. And even lace can make it bulky, so if you're going to use lace, make sure that you're using a really thin lace. You know, you don't want one of the really chunky ones. You want something that's quite thin. So let's have a little look. That one's really nice and thin, but it also doesn't show up very well, so I'm not sure about that one. What have we got here? That one's nice and thin, and yeah, I kind of like that one. And that one is probably a bit smaller actually, so yeah, I think I'm going to go with that one. So obviously I did ask you guys whether or not you wanted to see more things being decorated rather than just showing you the technical aspect, and the vast majority of you said yes. So I am going to do the decoration on some of this while we're actually still on video, because, you know, I always think the decoration is a really personal thing, and that how I want to decorate something wouldn't necessarily be the way that you want to decorate it. But having said that, and having spoken to the ladies in my groups and stuff, and if you're not in my Facebook group, please do come and join, because, you know, there is there's lots to learn, lots to do, challenges and so on and so forth. But anyway, yeah, I was told that people would like, in fact, to see me decorating things on camera for, you know, ideas and inspiration, especially for the sort of newcomers who may not really sort of know what they want to do, and so having it there as a full walkthrough would be nice. So that's what I thought. Let's do it on this one. So I'm just gonna pop that lace down on there and try and make sure it's somewhat straight. I know, I'm hopeless, aren't I? Today I've used scissors. I'm trying to get things straight. I mean, crikey, I'm really going for it right now, aren't I? I'm just trying to trim those ends because I just got that a little bit too wide. There we go. But yeah, you know, we have giggles, we have challenges. I run the bingo in my group as well. So if you're already doing it in Junk Journal, Junction, or Junk Journal for Beginners groups that I admin and run the bingo, you can also come and play it in my group as well. And we will have a good time. So let's put that on there. The link to my group is in the description. And as always, so are my other sort of favourite groups, which is, as I say, Junk Journal Junction, Junk Journal Community Chat UK, and my other favourite Journals to Inspire. Junk Journals for Beginners by a Beginner, obviously. Don't know if I said that one, but there you go. So to tie those in with this, I'm going to put another length of that across here, just to tie it in nicely, because I always think that sort of looks good, you know. What I'm actually going to do is try and run the glue along here in a reasonably straight line. I know. Oh, you know what? I think I actually did it. And I'm just going to give it a little bit of a wiggle around. Good Lord. I think that's the first time I've ever managed to get anything straight in my entire life. Doesn't help when I've had the wibbles for weeks, but they seem to be behaving today, which is good, because that hasn't been the most fun. Unfortunately, so a lot of the symptoms of my illnesses have been a bit of a bugger, shall we say, in recent weeks, so it's made it really, really difficult for me to be able to come and do this. So there we go, there's that one on as well. Then I'm going to have a little look at my little bag of embellishments here and see what I've got that I might like to use. You can decorate, like say, you can use stickers, die cuts, you know, you can pretty much use whatever you want on this bit. This is just lots and lots of bits that I have just kind of left over from other projects, you know, so I just kind of pick them out and go, oh yes, I'll have that one, or yeah. See what works, just see what works. So I'll come back to you in a second when I have figured this out. So what I did here was I dry lay out my decorations, and what that means is that I pop things where I think I might like them, and then I can adjust it as necessary. I'll kind of look at it and go, well, actually I prefer that if it was somewhere else, or you know, I find it makes it much better, much easier when it comes to decorating things to do that, because you can just pull different things in and out. You know, I just got together a few random things and started messing, so that's what we've ended up with. So now obviously for some of these I'm going to want to ink the edges of them, and like this one actually needs it's got a bit too much white on the border there where I just kind of roughly cut it out, so I'm just going to go ahead and trim that down. And I just need to trim the edges of this ribbon where it kind of goes over, because I don't, you know, obviously I don't want it to hang over because of it being in the pocket. So I'm just going to kind of give it a little snippy snip where it's needed, and then we'll be good to go. Can't get that bit because that bit's been really awkward. There we go. Okay, so yeah, at this point I then start to ink any sort of labels or things that I'm popping on there. This is just a cluster that I made, you know, so I'm just going to pop that on there because it looks really effective. I had a couple of those out just to see which kind of one I preferred, if any at all, and I quite like that one. So let's get on with this bit and then we'll come back in a second. This is the beauty of making your own clusters, is that you can make something look really sort of effectively decorated, you know, with something that you just pre-made using all of your little scrappy bits, you know. So for that alone, it's so worth making clusters, be they paper, fabric, you know, whatever works for you, because you can instantly transform something into something really, really beautiful, you know, just, as I say, out of scrap things that you just sat, watch the telly, you know, whatever, and make yourself some stuff. So I swear by having a lot of clusters at all times, and because I do create a heck of a lot of scraps, you know, that does make it a little bit easier. So I've always got scraps to choose from, to the point I've been known to actually send them out to people and just go, here you go, you can have some, I have too many. So I'm just going to kind of, I like the idea of having one of those wallpaper punched out flowers just on each of the cards, but in different places, you know. So first thing I want to do is glue down this lace here, and then we'll just lay that and then use this to kind of fix the glue and the lace down, you know, because that way you're not getting glue all over your fingers. Ways to not be messy. Okay, there we go, lovely. So that's that one on there, and then we'll pop this one on. I keep getting caught on bits of lace. It's driving me a little bit crazy, I'm not gonna lie. There we go. Sometimes my jewellery, just everything gets caught on my jewellery and it drives me mad, but by the same token I have to, when I'm having an okay time of things, I like to wear my rings because I can't wear them quite often, because my hands swell up too much to keep them on. So yeah, sometimes it's just nice to be able to say, I'm going to wear all my rings, well, some of my rings. Okay. I don't think that's got a specific way round, but I think maybe that way looks good. I'm not entirely sure. And then I think actually I'm going to put that at the bottom. I did have it on the top, but again, the beauty of dry laying is that, you know, that you can just do that. And then I'm just going to kind of pop that down. That's going to need a bit more glue. Wallpaper, if you're going to use like heavy wallpaper, you have to be aware that you do need quite a lot of glue, preferably like a gel glue or something, because I personally found that PVA just doesn't really hold it, and it starts to lift really, you know, quite a lot. So yeah, you might be better off using a heavier gel based glue or something like that. Or if you've, you know, had luck with a different kind of glue for this, you know, for wallpaper stuff, then by all means let me know in the comments. I'm all for people sharing tips and tricks, and obviously share them in the group as well. You know, people like to hear different methods. I think I might actually start a tip thread in there very soon, because we haven't had one in quite some time. So I think I'll pop one up. Right, so then the last thing to do is to put whatever you're going to put in here. So that might be some bulb pins. You know, you might just want to feed lace through. You might want to put you know, pins and a charm through there. You know, it's entirely up to you to do whatever you want to do, as I always maintain. Let's see, what lace have we got here that kind of looks nice. So, you know, you could always grab yourself a piece of lace, get your bulb pin here, and then I'm going to feed that through both pieces, and then you could put like a, it's not in the middle, I wanted it in the middle. You could put like a, you know, put some beads on that or something. I will get it to stay down, I promise. Actually, I don't know where I've put all my beads. I used them for something the other day, but I don't know where I've put them. But you can just keep it as simple as just a piece of lace if you wanted to. I found some of my beads, and I thought, well, actually there's one in there that will do the trick quite nicely. So if we were to grab that. And actually it would be better if the bead went on first, thinking about it. So you could put, let's say, a little one on there, pop that through. You can always put another one the other side. There we go. And they'll just sit there all nice and pretty. And it doesn't matter which way around you put your pin, because you'll still be able to see the bead. So yeah, so that's, you know, one option. I don't know what I was doing there, but it wasn't working. Get back there. I just don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know much of anything at the minute, to be quite honest with you. You could thread through like a satin rose or something. I'm not sure if that's going to work, but I'll give it a go. I think it might. This is the pocket back of the tag. Crikey, I don't even know what words I'm supposed to be using here today, I swear to God. Right, there we go. So yeah, you can have a nice rose as well, kind of stuck through your pin. So yeah, some ideas: beads, satin flowers, lace and beads, you know, that kind of thing, and you'll be absolutely home free. So I've just realised I forgot to put this on there. I know some people are really against using sentiments. I can't remember who it was. I saw a video on YouTube, you know, sort of saying basically that they're gross. It's like, they're not gross. If you like them, you like them. Personally, I like them. I don't use them on everything, but I do like to use them. So if you like them too, you carry on. Don't listen to somebody telling you that you shouldn't. Oh dear, I get so I get incensed about that, you know, sort of telling somebody that something they like is, you know, horrible. In the junk journal community, I think it's just a bit mean, really. So yeah. Okay. And finally, last one. Now, you can see what I mean just by having those little bits on there. You know, it does bulk it out. So that's why I say try to avoid using anything that's sort of too bulky on your tags, because it will create problems. And this will just be like huge. If it doesn't bother you, then that's fine. But there you go. So you can now shove that into your journal and be all happy and proud of yourselves. I hope that you guys found that easy to follow. You know, I hope it made sense. I hope it was easy for you. And I'd absolutely love it if you would come onto my group and show me if you make one. You know, we all love to see what people make. Everybody posts in their things they've made following my tutorials. And, you know, one of my ladies, Beth, she's working her way through all of my videos, I think, making everything I've made, and it's really, really fun to watch what she's doing. So that's great. So yeah, by all means, do come and do that. I'd love to see. And that's it really, guys. I promise I will be making more regular tutorials again now that things have started to settle down. Leave me a comment if you enjoyed this. Put a thumbs up on the video, would be really, really useful. And I'm getting closer and closer to my 2000 subscriber giveaway. The giveaway journal that I made, that I'll be posting a flip through of in the next few days, has made its way over to America for my 1500 subscriber giveaway. So Karina chose a steampunk journal, so that went over to her. So I'll be doing the same thing for my 2000 subscriber giveaway. There will be another journal up for grabs. So invite your friends, tell everyone about the channel, get them to come over, and then you will stand a chance of winning a journal made by me. So take care, guys. Happy crafting, and I'll see you soon.